Hi everyone, Jacquie Edwards here. Welcome to Live at Lunchtime again. Trying to think of what day it is. I think it's Tuesday today. It's hard to keep track. Anyways, so today I wanted to talk a little bit about finding tenants. The last few months I have been hearing a lot of people say that they've been struggling to find tenants or that the tenant demand has been a lot lower than before. And other people are worried about kind of the future of finding tenants with the new Brexit, and the idea that the EU won't be sending as many people over. So I just wanted to address that quickly and talk about what we do around finding tenants. First of all, I do have somebody else that does my tenant viewings and manages spare room for me now. In the beginning, I did do all of it myself. I found that it was one of the most time-consuming tasks in my property business, so that was one of the very first things that I actually outsourced was finding tenants. So right now I have who I call my letting manager. She takes care of all of our spare room advertising, all of the responses, sets up viewings, does all of the viewings for us, and kind of walks them over the finish line to paying the admin fee. Then once the tenant paid the admin fee, then it moves over to our property manager who does the referencing and everything else. So that's how we manage things, but how do we find those tenants and what are we doing to make sure we're generating enough interest? Because I've noticed as well in Oxford that some tenant demand has been a bit lower. We do always have a bit lower in kind of the end of the year and the beginning of the year, so kind of quarters 4 and quarter 1, just because that is the slowest time of the year. So now we're getting into our busiest period, and we have seen our rooms turning around a lot more quickly. We're finding tenants a lot more quickly with less viewings. So first of all, advertising. We advertise predominantly on spare room. We've found that for us, looking for young professional tenants, this has been the very best portal for us in Oxford. We have tried Gumtree, we've tried UPad, and a few other portals. They are definitely worth a try, and if you're struggling to rent out your rooms, do put it on other portals. Make sure you're using their paid services, especially on Spare Room. That way your ad will stay towards the top, it'll be highlighted in bold. Also, if you use free advertising, free members, so tenants, can't respond to your ad within, I think, the first 7 days. And most tenants aren't going to have a paid ad. So definitely make sure you get paid advertising. It's just a cost of doing business, and it'll help you fill your rooms up a lot faster. Make sure you use really nice pictures in your ads. Try to use a wide angle lens. Otherwise, I do just use my mobile and I put it in panorama mode. So that way I get a really nice big picture of the room. Have pictures of the bedrooms, kitchens, any other communal areas as much as possible, just so the tenants can get an idea of where they're going to be living. You will get a lot more responses from advertisements that have pictures versus other ads. And make sure you have good ad copy. So this is the text in your ad. Make sure it kind of paints a picture of living in that room. So, you know, where are the nearest shops? Where are the nearest kind of businesses that this person will be working? You know, how is the public transportation in that area? What are the other tenants like even? So just kind of paint as much of a picture as you can as possible. I found a lot of tenants don't read the ads anyways, but for the ones that do, you want to really try to sell the room in the ad. And make sure you put any specifications of any fees that you charge, whether bills are included, and things like that, just so that you cover all your legal requirements as well. So we've got Spare Room. We have also started doing a bit of Facebook advertising. I wouldn't recommend this if you're just getting started and only have a couple of rooms, but we've got a Facebook page now for our Jade Roomlets, which is our kind of room rental business, and I've got an ad running in targeting just kind of people I think between 23 and 33 in Oxford. So that it pops up in their newsfeed every once in a while and just shows some pictures of our rooms and takes them to our website so they can see what's available. We have been getting a few more inquiries directly from our website as a result of this, but that's probably a bit more advanced. I would always recommend that you should have a website. Our website is jaderoomlets.co.uk. And this shows most of our houses and just some general pictures of the rooms and the different communal areas and a bit more information on each house and each room, just so that if people are interested, they can go to the website and see a bit more information. We also have the Reserve Now button on our website, and we have lots of forms on there so that they can automatically, once they've reserved a room, they automatically fill out the application form and everything gets processed really easily. Again, some of that's a bit more advanced, but you should have a web presence because everybody expects a business to have a website. So if you're managing your rent-to-rents, acting as an agency, I definitely recommend you have a website set up. And you can't refer to your website directly from Spare Room. They don't let you have links. So what we do is on the photos we have in Spare Room, we're starting to brand those and put our logo on all of the photos. And we also put a little note in the caption to the photo to see more photos on our website. So again, just driving people to our website so they can see a bit more information and get more invested in us. You should also have some kind of advertising flyer or leaflet for them to take away once they've done the viewing. So again, we just print out a quick one-pager with a few details about the room, a few pictures, and the price so that they can take that away with them, because lots of times they're going to be seeing a number of rooms all in a row, and it's going to be hard to remember one from the other. So again, when they take that piece of paper home with them, when they finish after, they look around, and not very many HMO landlords or agents do this, so yours is going to stand out above the rest. And making sure your rooms are dressed, so no empty mattresses. Make sure you put like a duvet and some pillows on there. Try to make sure it's clean and looks as nice as possible. Something that will attract somebody to live in it. So making sure the house looks nice and the room looks clean and everything smells good. If you've got a kind of messy tenant that's moving out, this might be a bit more difficult because you don't want to be cleaning their room and touching all of their stuff every time you're doing a viewing, which is where the photos come in. So making sure you have really good photos. So when you show somebody the room, it looks a bit messy, you can say, well, this tenant is a bit messy. You can do a lot more with this room. Here's a photo of what it looks like when it's clean and tidy. But other than that, it is a lot about just making sure you're constantly advertising and building a list as well. So we're always advertising. We keep a list of everybody's name, email address, and phone number that inquire with us. So even if they don't take a room, we keep their email address and phone number. Make sure you're registered with the ICO for data protection if you're going to be keeping any lists. And then every time we have a room available, we do send everybody out a mass email saying we've got another room, come and check it out. So there are a lot of ways that you can make sure you've got tenant demand and that you're helping to create your own tenant demand. I would say if you're struggling to rent your rooms, don't panic. Maybe take a step back, look at, what are your rooms looking like? What do the houses look like? Are they in the best shape possible? Where are you advertising? Are you advertising in as many places as possible to get yourself out there and known? How are you conducting your viewings? Are you being friendly? Are you being open to quite a few different times? And then after that, it's being flexible with pricing. So the first thing we start to do, if rooms are a bit harder to rent out, is we remove deposits. So that just takes away one barrier to entry for some of the tenants. And it doesn't really impact us. This is because we've never had any problems with our tenants. We've never withheld anybody's deposit. So we don't really worry about not taking deposits. It just reduces our admin and it makes it easier for the tenant to move in. You could look at, if you want to keep a deposit, maybe first week or first 2 weeks free. If you're really struggling to rent a room out, it's better to get somebody in there, and maybe have 2 weeks void versus taking, 6 months to fill the room and having loads of voids. So just think of all those different things, but I don't think that the market is going to be too impacted. If you've got a nice quality house and you're a good landlord, you will have a better reputation and your houses will go more quickly. If you are in an area where HMOs are getting more saturated, you may have to step up the level, drop prices, and just look at how much advertising you're doing and if you can do any more. So I hope you found that helpful. Yeah, that's it for now, and I will speak to you tomorrow.